Good day, guys. Welcome to Tennessee Health Talk. Today we have a very important topic, and that topic is human papilloma virus, the one we call HPV virus. So, what is human papilloma virus? Human papilloma virus is the name of a very common group of viruses. This virus, they do not cause any problems in most people, but sometimes can cause genital wax or cancer, and even like cervical cancer. It can even lead to cervical cancer that form in women. Men can have human papilloma virus, but then they cannot be diagnosed of cervical cancer. So most often women can be affected with this virus. So HPV, it can affect the skins, and there are more than 100 different types. So HPV does not usually cause any symptoms. Like I said, if you have a HPV virus, it takes a lot of years before noticing that you have a HPV virus. So most people who have it do not realize and do not have any problems. It takes a lot of time. So most of the time, the virus can cause painless growth or lumps around your private part, the female private part, the pennies, the anus, the genital wax. It can cause a lot of problems to those secret area. So many types of HPV can affect the mouth, the throat, the genital area, and they are easy to catch. So most of the people that have HPV, the HPV sometimes it can start from the mouth, from the throat, and sometimes to your genital area. So you do not need to have penetrative sex before having or HPV virus. So how can HPV be spread? Because you don't have to have penetrative sex, or you don't have to make love before encountering this particular disease called HPV. So one of the ways you can get HPV is through skin to skin contact of the genital area. So through skin to skin contact, you can also encounter HPV virus, and this virus is, and through your private part, the female private part, you can also encounter this disease. People who usually have anal sex, oral sex, they can also be infected. If a person that have HPV, if you have oral sex or anal sex with them, definitely you might get HPV virus. So another way you can get HPV is sharing sex toys. People who usually share sex toys, if somebody is infected with HPV, you can also encounter this particular virus or be infected. So like I said, HPV has no symptoms for the early stage. It does not show any symptom, so you may not know if you have it. So it's very common. Most people will get some type of HPV in their life. So you do not have to have sexual contact with a lot of people to get HPV. So you can get HPV in the first time. During your first time making love, you can also have HPV virus. So there are conditions that link to HPV, condition linked to human papilloma virus. So most of the time, HPV does not cause any symptoms like I said, right? In some people, some types of HPV can cause the genital wax, abnormal changes in the cells that can sometimes turn into cancer. That is cervical cancer. So cancer can link to high risks of HPV, including like the cervical cancer, the anal cancer, the pineal cancer, the vulva cancer, and the female private part cancer. So these are conditions that are linked to cervical cancer. This is a very serious disease that we need to focus to because it affects women mostly. It affects women mostly. So you can have HPV for many years. So HPV virus, there are other people that are at risk that can encounter that are quick to encounter HPV or quick to be infected. So who are those that are at risk? So we say people with number of sexual partners. So if you have a partners that have numerous partners or polygamous, it's possible that you can also be infected with this particular virus called human papilloma virus. So it is very important that you be faithful to one person, because if you have number of partners or sexual partners, there are other infections that you'll be infected with, and then that your partner who is faithful, you also infect them with this virus. So we say age, we say common wax occur mostly in children. So we say genital wax occur most often in adolescents and young adults. So that the wax on children who are young, it quick to affect them. So, and people who have weakened immune system. So like the HIV, the virus that lead to AIDS, or certain medicine used after organ, it can also lead to, you are also at risk of getting this particular virus. And damaged skin, areas of skins that have been injured are more likely to develop common wax. So these are people who are at risk. Personal contact touching someone wax might increase the risk of HPV infection. And so touching people who have wax, people who are infected with HPV, using their public showers or swimming pools, like the swimming pool, most people will use public swimming pool. You are also if somebody who is infected with HPV, you are also at risk of getting this particular infection. So people who are at risk on oral and upper respiratory source called lectin. Some people HPV infection can cause lectin on the tongue. It can cause sore on the tongue, even on the mouth. So people who swim in a public pool, people who have wax, who are already infected with that disease and then swim in a public pool. Those who are not infected, if they get in close contact with that person, they might also get HPV virus. So now, how can we prevent this particular HPV, this human papilloma virus? How can you protect this virus? So we say HPV testing is part of cervical screening. So you can also do your cervical cancer screening for women, because women are mostly infected with this particular disease. Men can also get HPV, but men cannot get cervical cancer. But if a woman or lady have or HPV, they might also this HPV might also lead to cervical cancer. So for ladies, you can do your cervical cancer screening Like I said, you don't have to be sick before going to the hospital. You can go at the hospital or clinic closer to you to do your screening. And more especially women who are 25 to 64 years can do their cervical cancer screening as well. So you cannot fully protect yourself against HPV, but there are things that can help. So one of the things that can help is condom. Condom can help protect you against HPV, but they do not cover all the skins around your genitals, so you are not fully protected. So condom can help in the process, so you can use condom whenever you are making love with your partner to help prevent some of these infections, some of these STIs that moving around us. So HPV vaccine protects against the types of HPV that cause most cases of the genital wax and cervical cancer. So they also have the HPV vaccine. If you have your female child or girl child who is 9 years old, take them to the clinic or hospital to take this HPV vaccine to help prevent cervical cancer in the future. So the HPV vaccine is available to many of these hospitals. Go there and do your HPV vaccine. Carry your child there and let them do the HPV vaccine. So the vaccine is mainly for girl child because, like I said, this virus can actually affect women mostly because it leads to cervical cancer, and at the end of the day, that woman will bleed heavily. They will, whenever they are whenever they will bleed heavily during that menstrual period. So if you have your child who have not had sexual contact with anybody or have any love making with anyone, 9 years old, take them to the hospital, let them do the HPV vaccine. And if you are already past the age, go at the hospital, do your HPV screening or test to know whether you have any infections or any diseases in your body. So for more video, please subscribe to Tinisi channel and know more about your health and well-being. Make this channel your favorite channel. Thank you for watching. Keep following this channel. Bye bye.